Hello and welcome to the start of a new series. This will be a tutorial series to start off the Distant Worlds universe saga in this channel. Well, since this is a tutorial, I'm going to do my best to explain everything that I do and why do I do it, and every single thing that I've learned in my test runs. Let's start off by explaining all of this. Tutorial is pretty self-explanatory. You have a crap ton of tutorials in here. Recommend that you actually, if you are finding your way around this, and if you are having questions, either find YouTube channels like mine who do pretty nice tutorial. If I remember, I'll put a link down in the description to a couple of them that I am actually following now, because, well, I actually needed a little bit of help seeing what was what in this game. Start a new game, we'll get there in a bit. Load game if you have previous saved games. If you are coming here from, well, at the start, you won't have this. Well, it's a moot point, pretty self-explanatory. In the options, I am going for the expert automation. If you don't want this, because I want to control everything, at least at the start, then I probably will automate, very likely. I will automate a couple of things. But yeah, this I recommend. If you are getting bored in having everything controlled, you can just automate a couple of things, and this is expert none. You can actually go for custom and assign a couple of things to be controlled well, by the AI. Suggest gifts, or suggest attacks, suggest offensive missions, a lot of things you can do. Empire settings. This is my settings. Yeah. Patrol, engage system targets. If they are in automation, they will do this. If they are in manual, they will try to do this. And there we go. So, attack overmatch, yeah, refuel, pretty self-explanatory. Right, let's get right on it. Change theme. This is if you want to actually use a couple of expansions. Distant Worlds Original and the Ancient Galaxy are the only ones that come with the main game. Sorry about that, I actually bumped my microphone. But yeah, default is fine. This is the extended universe, is actually awesome, but that will be for other Let's Play. So let's dive right into here. If you are new, you can try to play the introductory game. Easy game in the classic era with abundant resources and few pirates. What's the fun in that? The Ancient Galaxy, a couple of, well, new people to the game will actually be tempted to go over here. Don't do it. The way the history works is that we were already a spacefaring civilization. Anyone that you see in the game, their ancestors were already spacefaring. Problem was, they were destroyed. This is that scenario where everyone is, well, spacefaring. So ancient empires have carved out their territories and formed alliances amongst themselves. All is at peace, or is it? Keep a lookout for new threats. A new race will bring permanent change to the galaxy. Yeah. In the lore, that I'm pointing at them. That race destroyed the spacefaring empires, and the remnants of the colonization went for the Stone Age of Shadows, where pirates who survived, but remnants of the empire as well, the empires, pirates that survived kept that technology, and now they are terrorizing the standard empires. So yeah, if you want to start a game, I would recommend either this one or the one that I'm going for. It's this one. Pirate faction I really don't recommend for new players. It's a little bit tricky. Might do a let's play of a pirate faction later on if this game gets enough support. Classic era, so we have begun to expand. Return of the Shakhturi, they will return. We have begun to expand, but the Shakhturi will return. The same ones that defeated these guys, they will return. And legends, well, everything is fine and dandy, but Well, we are a standard empire in the classic era. Your empire has begun to expand beyond your own star systems. Other mighty stellar empires are also moving out into the stars. Meanwhile, pirates, smugglers, and mercenaries still hold control over uncharted regions of the galaxy. Can you defend your growing empire from these forces and prosper? Discover the mission mysterious ancient guardians and uncover the secrets they hold, while keeping a wary lookout for the return of a devastating invader. Basically, it's this one, but with a couple of added plus. Planetary disaster, legendary pirates, and deadly threats. So it's this one, but legendary. Legendary difficulty, so to speak. So we are going for custom game as a standard empire. We're going to start with this. Now, you have a couple of choices to the shape of the galaxy. Elliptical, spiral, ring, irregular, even clusters, and varied clusters. I'm really tempted to get to either varied clusters or even clusters. I'm really tempted to go for that. I usually go for spiral, but that just means it's difficult. If you land over here, you'll have a hard time, or a harder time, than the guys that are down there. So we'll go for even clusters for an even let's play, so to speak. You'll have bridges across the clusters, but it's spread apart. So yeah, I like this. We'll go for even clusters this time around. Star amount, we are going for a huge. Physical size, large. This means that we'll have 1400 stars spread out across 10 by 10 sectors. Now, 10 by 10 sectors. Sectors are these squares. It's kind of hard to see right now. Probably this one is easier to see. We'll have 10 sectors like this, 10 sectors like this. So a lot of sectors to explore, a lot of stars to explore. I'm going for this one just because if it is a huge, there will be 5 more sectors, well, on each side. That means a lot more sectors to explore, so the stars will be further spaced apart. So we'll go for large. If you reduce this to medium, they will reduce the stars to 10,000. Same thing, if you keep moving down, this is the limit. You can't have a tiny sector with 1400 stars. Believe me, I tried. So we'll go for large with huge star amount. Expansion, this determines whether the empires are pre-warp starting, so they are starting to expand, young, expanding, mature, or they have their borders old. They have their borders really defined, and everyone, this is for the AI empires, by the way. So yeah, we'll go for pre-warp, so everyone starts out the same. Aggression, well, that's pretty self-explanatory. If they want to aggro you much more or not, well, we'll go for normal difficulty, normal, because, well, this is a explanatory LP. This is a tutorial LP. Research cost, you can go for expensive, look at that number right there, or very cheap. We are going for normal. Space creatures, we are going to be playing with space creatures. They will exist. We will have to deal with them. It's a little added plus, a little bit more difficulty. Most of Let's Players choose none, but I'm going for normal. Why not? Why not? Pirates, normal, and pirate strength, normal. Pirates are the rulers of the galaxy at the start. If you guys didn't understand that from my explanation down previously, they have better technology than you do, and believe me, they will exert force to make you pay them for protection. Kind of like the mafia. So yeah. Colonization Territory. Alright, let's get right into it. I'm going to put colony prevalence. This means the abundance of colonies is going to be abundant. So large sprawling empires everywhere. Independent alien life. These are the guys that are not quite as advanced as the empires, so to speak. You'll have a couple of planets because, well, there was an exodus at the end of the ancient era. Let's say it like this. There was an exodus, and a couple of them, our empire is one of them, for instance, are actually starting to get to the stars. But there are others that are not quite there yet, either because, well, you can fill in the gaps there, either because it was there was a let's say there was they weren't discovered by pirates, so they haven't triggered the exploration. They haven't been they have been struck by a tragedy somewhere, and so on and so forth. So yeah, they are a little bit backwards. Kinda. So that's why they are not exploring and expanding, so they are ripe for the taking. So we're going for plentiful, not going for teeming. And influence range. This controls the influence circles that are projected out from colonies. Colony influence determines your empire territory. So this basically says what my territory will be like. I'm going for 71 because it's the recommended. And colonization range limits will go... Actually, we could go just at the border. Yeah, let's do that. 71. See if I can get there. If not, I'll settle for 70. Oh, okay, 70. This means you cannot colonize further than 0.7 sectors away. So if you have a colony right here, you cannot colonize in this point of the galaxy because it's more than 0.7 sectors. This, I actually prefer it to be 0.5, but the AI gets a little bit... No, that's fine. Gets a little bit shackled, so to speak, because they cannot expand that far and they want to colonize and they don't invade other colonies, which we do, so it's more a hard cap on the AI than us, but yeah, we're going for that. We are going for that. Races. You have a crap ton of races to play. There are 19, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 19. Huh, how about that? We're going for the Gizurians, though. Each race is different. They have different characters, different races, families, so to speak, planet types, and reproduction rate, bonuses, whatnot, and so forth. I'm partial for the Gizurians and for the Quamena. The Quamena are awesome if you want to research, because they get 40% faster research, and they have technocracy, which gives 50% more research. They research extremely fast. But for a let's play, because I tend to try to role play it, because they are extremely passive and very unfriendly, it makes for a boring LP. So I'm going for the Gizurians because they are quite aggressive, quite cautious. So quite aggressive will be at war pretty much most of the time. Quite cautious, we are only going to go at war if we know we can beat them, which most of the times we will be able to, because this is normal. Extremely unfriendly, so we won't try to make alliances. The only one that I'm trying to make alliances will be these guys that are this looking, because they are the same family as me. They are insectoid and they are distant relatives. If you look, they're pretty much similar. Only the color and whatnot is different. Extremely unfriendly, yeah. Quite stupid. We will have a penalty to our research because of this. And very unreliable, so no alliances. Master Engineers will get a discount in ship maintenance. Will get bonus from Necrostone, so +5 strength to new troops. Iridium +10 development bonus for our colonies with access to this resource. Then we'll have the race victory conditions. So we need to build the Universal Hive Wonder, spend the most time at war in the galaxy, keep our empire's leader alive, build the most military ships, and control 33% of all volcanic colonies in the galaxy. We are less likely to generate new leader characters, -100%, hence why we need to keep our empire's leader alive. Less likely to generate new ambassador characters, -50%. More likely to generate new troop generals characters, +30%. Okay, we have a special government that is the Hive Mind. We are insectoids, so that makes sense. We don't have any special technology. We don't have any disallowed technology. We have a regular 7-year cycle for 2 years. We have increased population growth every single 7 years. So every 7 years we'll have 2 years. So between year 7 and year 9 we'll have even more production population growth. By year 7, excuse me, usually you're already capped out because of this. But yeah, faster construction speed is also nice, +10%. So let's configure our empire. I'm going for, well, alright, let's go for, since we are insects, I know it's not spelled like this. This is a race that was in Mass Effect Rachni, but I'm not going to spell it properly because of rights. Rachni Hive, sure. So I'm going for a random starting location. So we could go either for the center or for the edge. I'm going for random. It doesn't really matter. We are even anyhow. We're going to make agreeable system. I want more resources in my home system. That's why I'm doing this. Size starting, not random. Random, it could go any over here. We are going for starting because we will start in the same spot as everyone else, or in the same situation. We'll go for pre-warp because I want to research everything, and corruption will go for normal just because. Hive mind, so we'll get the governments actually have different benefits. So for instance, democracy research is awesome, good for approval and corruption. Growth rate, this is for a passive game because maintenance cost plus 20%, troop recruitment minus 25, and war awareness plus 40. We're going for hive minds because, well, we are insects, and that's a good government. We have plus 10 approval, minus 20 corruption, minus 5 maintenance cost, and minus 40 war awareness. So other empires, we will generate 19 other empires. This is the limit, so we'll start with that. We will allow independent alien colonies to start new empires during the game. We could add new empires, but it is a bother to do so, and I want some random things in this game. So victory conditions, we need to achieve 100% victory threshold, either by the victory conditions of our race, the ones that I said previously, or by controlling territory, population, or economy. We could make a combination of all of them, by the way. You could, for instance, have 50% over here and 50% with these, and victory has been achieved. The victory conditions will only apply after 20 years. We will enable Distant Worlds story events. We are not going to have the Return of the Shaktori like that. We will have disasters and other events. We'll have race-specific events. We'll have shadow story events. We will allow tech trading and giant cultures at game start. So I'm going to put a cut in the first episode. I will call this a tutorial. The first part of the tutorial. The second one will probably be another little thing that I will explain every single menu in there in the game proper. But if you don't want to watch that and you want to jump right into the action, I would recommend actually jumping into the third episode, but that's up to you. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more of Distant Worlds universe, leave a like down below, leave a comment, say what you want me to accomplish with this game, and we'll talk soon. The second episode, the second part of the tutorial, should be up quite soon, actually. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, thumbs up, and until next time, do take care, and goodbye.